Have you ever found yourself in doubt about what to do when a woman starts to distance herself from you? There are common mistakes that men often make, and in the end, all they achieve is pushing her further away. Hello, I'm Christopher, and in this video, I want to discuss why women pull away and how to handle it. Additionally, it's equally important to address the 5 major mistakes that men make when a woman starts to withdraw, because, let's face it, it's becoming increasingly frustrating for men. Stay until the end because the last mistake is the most common, and almost everyone makes it without realizing. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe, alright? Let's get started. It's a scenario I've observed repeatedly with my clients. Everything begins excitingly with a woman showing genuine interest. Flirty messages fill your days. Outings are planned with enthusiasm, and conversations about the future seem promising. They talk about long-term events like parties or weddings, and you feel the relationship is solidifying. However, suddenly, in the blink of an eye, something changes. You start to notice a slight distance when you're together, and the flirty messages fade away. Response times slow down, invitations to go out receive less enthusiastic replies, and you can sense excuses in her responses. It seems like something has shifted in her perception, and it's challenging to understand what happened. Like anyone in this situation, you begin to reflect on what went wrong. You wonder why that girl who initially showed genuine interest suddenly changed. It's a scenario we've all experienced at some point. In this video, I want to explore 5 common mistakes that men tend to make when facing this situation. By examining these mistakes, you'll be able to understand how certain behaviors, both before and after she distanced herself, contributed to her decision to pull away. It's crucial to identify the mistakes you made before and after she withdrew, as these are the real drivers behind her departure. Let's analyze these mistakes in detail to comprehend why they are so detrimental. Even if initially the girl was attracted to you and envisioned a future together. Error number 1. When a woman starts to pull away, the first mistake most men make is confessing their feelings. The idea that crosses our minds is that if she only knew how I feel, she would stay, right? We convince ourselves that somehow, if she knew the depth of my interest, she would stay and respond in the same way. We are convinced that maybe we haven't made it clear how much we like her, that perhaps she didn't know we were serious enough about her, and that's why she's leaving. But here's the key. Uncertainty in a woman's eyes is attractive. If she's not sure what's happening with you, she's more likely to stay because you're a puzzle she wants to solve. When she is completely sure of what's going on, it feels strange, and she takes a step back. When a woman perceives that this guy is really interested in her, she retreats a bit to take a breather because she thinks, wow, this is moving towards a relationship. Am I sure I want this? So, she pulls away a bit, and what happens is that the guy does the opposite of what he should do. He starts confessing more of his romantic feelings and his desire to be with her. Now, the space she needed, which was only a little, is now much more because she feels suffocated. The moment you start telling her how much you like her, you've just made the decision for her. All she wanted was a bit of space to think, this is moving forward. Let me see if this is something I really want. And then you add the additional pressure by telling her how much you like her, how special she is, how you see a future with her. And now she thinks, I have to stop this. I have to stop this before it reaches the point of no return. Confessing your feelings is never a good idea. Never the reason she's pulling away, never. Unless you're dating 3 or 4 other women at the same time and are a complete player, maybe that's the reason. But if she's the only girl you're talking to, it's not because she thinks you're not serious about her. I can promise you that. This is a great moment to subscribe. Ready? Let's continue. Error number 2. Apologizing or over-explaining. Often, when a woman starts to pull away, Many men fall into the trap of apologizing or over-explaining. For example, if a guy chooses to spend time with friends instead of accepting an invitation from her, he may feel the need to text apologies and explain his actions. This behavior can stem from the misguided idea that admitting a mistake and explaining the situation could regain her interest. However, this strategy often has the opposite effect. The reality is that apologizing or giving unnecessary explanations can weaken your position and further diminish the attraction she feels for you. Instead of conveying an image of confidence and security, you may appear insecure and needy. The key here is to resist the temptation to apologize for things that are not significant mistakes and avoid giving too many explanations. Stay calm and allow her to have her space without falling into the trap of justifying every little move. Remember, uncertainty can be attractive, and giving her space to think can be more effective than constantly seeking her approval. Error number 3. Trying to win her over with a gift. This trap is more common than you can imagine. Despite emphasizing in various videos the importance of not sending flowers to a girl early on, many of my clients still fall into this practice. I clarify that it's okay to send flowers to your girlfriend or wife, but at the beginning of a relationship, especially when you feel she's distancing herself, it's better to avoid gifts. Buying a gift, much like confessing feelings, puts pressure on her, especially if she's undecided about you. Pressure acts as the antagonist of attraction. The more pressure he feels, the less attractive he will find you. Therefore, it's essential to avoid confessions, apologies, and gifts in these crucial stages. Remember, the key is to give her space and time to think, without adding more pressure to the situation. Now, we come to error number 4, where some guys make the mistake of matching her coldness. When a woman starts to pull away, some think they'll play the same game, adopting a more distant attitude. Personally, I've fallen into this trap. I remember once a girl I liked started ignoring my messages and took days to respond. My reaction was to say, "I'll do the same," waiting several days to contact her. However, there's a right and wrong way to do this. The common trap is to wait and not send messages frequently. But when she finally gets in touch, many make the mistake of immediately asking, "Do you want to go out?" This reveals that they were only waiting and not genuinely disinterested. The best way to approach this is, if you're waiting and she contacts you, don't immediately ask her out. Instead, end the conversation without the invitation to go out. Although I know that when you like someone and see an opportunity, you want to seize it, don't ask her out right away. The key is to prevent her from feeling that you have the power and that you were waiting just for the sake of waiting. Once she perceives that you have control, maintaining attraction becomes extremely difficult. So, what do they do after that? Error number 5. They give an ultimatum. Who here has given an ultimatum, right? Listen, my time is valuable, so if you don't want to meet up, then maybe we shouldn't see each other, right? This ultimatum, like other mistakes, puts more pressure on her, and in this situation, pressure is the last thing she needs. Giving her an ultimatum is like offering her a big box of pressure, which will make her grab her bags and move even further away. Another problem with ultimatums is similar to coldness. It's crucial to show a woman that you're willing to walk away. An ultimatum when you're not willing to walk away is probably the worst thing you could do. If you give an ultimatum and then still get in touch with her, which I know you're going to do, I've done it, you lose the ability to walk away, and she perceives it. When she knows you're not going to leave, she loses interest quickly. Ultimatums don't work. I've never seen a girl say, "Wow, I might lose him, I better do it." An ultimatum only puts more pressure and pushes her further away. In summary, all these mistakes harm your chances when a woman starts to pull away. They also indicate that perhaps you don't understand the psychology of keeping a woman attracted in the first place. Personally, I made these mistakes before she even started to pull away, which likely contributed to her decision to do so. Confessing my feelings too soon, apologizing and over-explaining, buying gifts, and trying to impress her with fancy dinners were all part of my mistakes. Although I didn't resort to coldness, I fell into the ultimatum trap when I felt the need to exert pressure. What makes a woman fall in love is not when a guy overwhelms her with affection. In fact, as I mentioned, that creates pressure and pushes her away. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that what attracts a woman to a man is uncertainty, not knowing what comes next, not knowing the end of the movie. We don't want to watch a movie when we already know the outcome. Most of the time when women meet a man and already know the outcome, they lose interest. It's because she got to know you and she anticipated the ending too quickly, with no incentive to continue the relationship. She knew you were going to overwhelm her with affection, and once a woman knows she has you, it's over. So, what to do instead? Do you really want to know what to do instead of making these mistakes? I'll teach you exactly what to do if you leave me a comment. If you're interested in learning how to avoid these mistakes and keep a woman's attraction alive, let me know in the comments. You can leave a comment like, "Christopher, what should I do instead of making these 5 mistakes? Greetings from, well, the country where you are. I'm here to help you in your relationships, and I'll put effort into providing helpful guidance." So, for now, don't forget to check out my latest videos, don't forget to subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single piece of advice.
Men's secret.